Okay.
Welcome to this explainer. You know, if you're watching this right now, chances are you're standing on the edge of a massive life change. You're moving abroad for higher education, maybe landing that dream job overseas, or even expanding your business internationally. And let's be real, it's an incredibly exciting journey. But right before you can actually take off, you hit this massive, frustrating roadblock: document legalization. It can feel, honestly, completely overwhelming. Well, you're definitely not alone. When you're preparing to leave India, you're suddenly faced with this confusing sea of red tape, endless government acronyms, and conflicting timelines. It's enough to make anyone anxious, right? Especially when your valuable, original documents are on the line. But hey, don't worry. Think of this explainer as your beacon of clarity. We're going to cut through all that noise and show you exactly how this whole process works right here in Pune.
Okay, so here's our quick roadmap for today. 1. What is an apostille? 2. The documents that actually need it. 3. The 2 different attestation paths. 4. Translation and validity rules. And finally 5. Why you might want to choose SAS. Let's untangle this whole thing step by step.
Part 1. What is an apostille? Basically, it's your global passport. So, this specific official apostille stamp from the MEA, that is your ultimate goal. Now, this isn't just some regular rubber stamp you'd find sitting on a desk. It's a highly secure, internationally recognized certification. Because think about it. When foreign governments ask for your documents, they have literally no way of knowing if a degree from a university in Pune or a local birth certificate is actually genuine. So this stamp acts as the undeniable legal proof of authenticity that those foreign governments require. To put a formal definition on it, an apostille is a certification stamp issued exclusively by the Indian Ministry of External Affairs, the MEA. It validates your personal, educational, or commercial documents for international use, specifically in countries that are part of the Hague Convention. The absolutely crucial thing to remember here is that the MEA is the ultimate authority. They're the ones placing this final stamp on your original document, but only after it's passed through a pretty strict series of preliminary verifications.
Moving on to part 2. Documents that need apostilles and what you need to prepare.
So, get this. There are over 30 different types of documents that might actually require an apostille, which I know sounds totally daunting. But actually, we can neatly categorize them into 3 manageable buckets so it doesn't feel quite so overwhelming. First up, personal documents. Think your birth certificate, marriage certificate, or a police clearance certificate. Second, educational documents, which are obviously vital for students and job seekers. These include your degrees, diplomas, and transcripts. And finally, commercial documents for businesses. Things like a power of attorney or GST certificates. Now, knowing which bucket your document falls into is super important, because it dictates exactly how it gets processed.
Part 3. The 2 attestation paths. Time to untangle the bureaucracy. Okay, this is absolutely critical. You really need to understand the stark contrast between these 2 methods. On the left, we have the subdivisional magistrate, or SDM, attestation method. This one is fast. We're talking usually just 3 to 5 days, and it's generally cheaper. But then, on the right, we have the state attestation method. And guys, this one is painfully slow, often taking 3 to 4 weeks. So you might be wondering, why on earth would anyone choose the slow path? Well, because some destination countries, like Italy for example, absolutely demand it. Bottom line, if your destination country doesn't strictly mandate state attestation, you always want to choose the faster SDM path.
So if you do choose the fast track, the SDM method gives you this really clear, streamlined workflow. You can basically trace how the document moves from initial local verification all the way to the final MEA Apostille.
Let's translate that map into some highly actionable steps. Step 1. Notarization. A public notary verifies and attests your document locally. Step 2. The SDM attestation. This is where the subdivisional magistrate adds their official verification. And finally, Step 3. The final submission to the Ministry of External Affairs in Delhi, where they place the actual apostille stamp on the back of your document. It's this streamlined process that makes it possible to get it done in just 3 to 5 days.
But let's look at the alternative. Notice how much more complex this process becomes when you're forced into this state attestation method? See how the path immediately splits right from the start based on whether you have personal or educational documents?
Here's exactly why this path takes up to an agonizing month. After notarization, your documents actually have to go through state departments. So personal documents, they go to the Maharashtra Home Department. Educational documents, they have to go to the Maharashtra HRD Department.
And this involves regional authentication centers located in Mumbai, where officials literally have to verify the document's authenticity with the local district magistrate where it was originally issued. Only after all of that origin verification is completely finished can the document finally be sent to the MEA in Delhi. It's a lot.
Part 4. Translation and Validity Rules. Getting prepared for your destination.
All right, so there are 2 specific translation scenarios you really need to watch out for. First, if your original document is in a regional language, say a birth certificate in Marathi, it absolutely must be translated to English before the apostille process even begins. Second, once you finally have the apostille, your destination country might require the English document to be translated into their official language, like German or Spanish. I cannot stress this enough. Using highly professional, certified, or sworn translators is absolutely crucial here. You do not want costly errors or rejections at the embassy after doing all this work.
6. I want to drop this powerful number right here to anchor a crucial fact. An apostille issued for Pune documents generally has a base validity of just 6 months. Now sure, some countries are a bit more lenient and might accept an apostille that's over a year old, but the standard rule of thumb across the board is 6 months. This means timing your application perfectly with your travel and visa dates is critical. You don't want it expiring before you even fly out.
Part 5. Why choose SAS, aka the stress-free solution? Enter Secure Apostille Services. They bring 15 years of deep experience to global document legalization. And honestly, even better, they operate across all 15,600+ PIN codes in India. Locally, they offer free document pickup across the entirety of Pune, literally from Baner to Magarkota City. Whether you're stuck doing the typical 10 to 15 working day state process or breezing through the 3 to 5 day SDM process, they manage the whole thing with total, verified expertise.
And you know, when experience matters, customer reviews really do say it all. Take this review from Elwin, for example. He writes, "I had been scammed twice before, but the team proved to be trustworthy, professional, and true to their promises." Guys, when you're handing over your one and only original birth certificate or your original university degree, you need massive human credibility and trustworthiness. Social proof like this, it's everything.
Beyond just trust, SAS actually utilizes modern systems to dissolve all that anxiety. The entire process can be initiated completely online. They use individual barcode labeling for every single document, which is huge because it practically eliminates the risk of your papers getting misplaced in some random government office. Plus, you get a live tracking system, so you know exactly where your document is at any given moment. And right from registration, you're assigned a dedicated priority support consultant. It's just a completely transparent, highly secure loop from start to finish. So after mapping out that entire crazy maze of notaries, SDMs, state departments, and the MEA, we are left with one final thought. Are you ready to let the experts secure your global passport so you can actually focus on the exciting journey ahead of you? Don't let bureaucracy delay your dreams. Thanks so much for watching this explainer. We really hope you walk away feeling empowered, informed, and completely ready to take your next big step.